we've heard a lot from the panel. Let's throw it over to you. Why are boys doing so badly at school? Let's hear what you've got to say. Hopefully we're here for some teachers and some pupils.
Yes, we have actually got a teacher on line one, and that's Sarah.
Brilliant. Sarah, good morning.
Good morning, Matthew. How are you doing?
Is it true, first of all, that boys aren't doing so well at school?
Yes, it is very true. I think it's a combination of many things, and partly the introduction of GCSEs, because obviously there's a high element of coursework involved in that, and unfortunately girls are more willing to sit down and continue to do it again and again to get the best mark they possibly can, whereas boys want to do it one time, and if it's not good enough, sod it, that's it.
Okay. What else?
I also think the introduction of league tables make it very hard for schools to actually teach young people. It's more about performance and getting the...
I hear that time and time again
now. Up in the league tables.
Yeah.
In terms of what you said about practical subjects, there are practical subjects. You've got things like D&T, but obviously it's no more than 30 people doing that at a time, so only a certain amount of boys can do that.
Would you be interested? As I said, I mean, the debate about woodwork, metalwork, and whether some boys, the less academically gifted, should be doing that was around when I was at school. So we haven't got very far with the debate. It's the same debate. You, as a teacher, would you like to see practical subjects, more practical subjects coming onto the curriculum?
I would like to see more practical subjects coming onto the curriculum, but there's also a very good 14 to 19 curriculum that young people can access in colleges. It's up to the schools to refer those young people who are not academically bright to those courses. There's also other alternatives. However, it's really up to the school and the school management. But I also take on the point about boys maturing differently and about their emotions. So, unfortunately, we're living in a society and in an education system where girls and boys can do exactly the same thing, but girls get 2 bites of the cherry compared to boys. So boys are more likely to be excluded for exactly the same transgressions as girls, and as a result, if they're out of the lessons, they're not learning anything.
This is, I mean, it's not painting a very happy picture, Sarah. I'm trying to think about what the future holds here. I mean, where do you think we should go from here?
It would help if we actually raise the age of of teachers. I think that NUQTs that are coming into schools at 21, 22, they fair the young boys. The boys don't have to open their mouths. These boys are usually taller than them, bigger than them. So as soon as they open their mouths, these teachers want to be excluding them from their lesson and getting them out of their class.
Okay.
So that is one way of dealing with it. But equally, that we need to work in partnership with the parents. A lot of the parents are illiterate, so they have no interest in supporting their young people in their education because they don't want them to do better than them. They're embarrassed.
Sarah? Marvellous stuff. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You really throw things into relief. Thank you. OK, let's have another.
Wendy, and she's on line 2.
Wendy, good morning.
Morning.
Do you think it's true that boys are somehow being failed at school?
Definitely. My son's 15, just started, well, he's in his first year of his GCSE syllabus. If I hear another teacher say to me when I say, is he slipping behind on something, oh, it's only boys, I'll probably thump them. This coursework business is the ability to copy from the internet and avoid being done for plagiarism, whereas boys actually do the homework. My son does his homework, he goes to school, sits an exam, and usually gets an A or B. Coursework is getting C's and D's because he can't manoeuvre the words as well. Cheating, basically. that's my impression.
Okay.
In his school, it's pretty good school, and discipline is key. They are pretty hot on that, so they have got a lot of success.
But the exams themselves, you think, are skewed against boys? The way the GCSEs are set up?
I do not understand. I mean, I'm fairly over the hill, and I did O-level.
Welcome to my world, yeah.
And it was, you learned it over the 2-year syllabus, and then you sat down and proved that you'd learned it.
Yeah.
So now they sit at home. In fact, my friend's daughter and her friends all sit around together and do it together.
I mean, Wendy...
Wendy, hello?
Probably
at the end of the year, if you ask them what they've learned, they won't remember it.
The thing that gets me, and you might agree with this, Wendy, is I feel I don't have kids, but I do look back over what's happened over the last 20-odd years, and I'm just amazed that we seem to have made no progress whatsoever. If anything, we've gone backwards. And just as you said, it used to be about learning and proving you can learn, and now I don't know what it is.
There's one thing we're missing, which is that boys need subjects where they can excel, because then if they excel, whether it's woodwork or metalwork, they have confidence and they have self-respect. And boys are funny because if boys do badly, I think this is again stereotypical, but girls will try again and again to get better. Boys will think, I can't be bothered.
I can't do it.
I'm off.
Okay.
And that's where we're going wrong.
Coming through loud and clear as well. I'm really enjoying this. Thank you, Wendy. Let's have one more, please.
William, and he's on line 3.
William, good morning.
Good morning.
What's your perspective on this?
Well, first of all, I'd like to point out the fact that if the parents opt for homeschooling, these gender differences disappear, which tends to show that that it's back to the way that they're taught in schools, which is causing the problem. Now, I personally think that because boys mature later, they've got a different way of thinking. They're actually not doing so well in schools, which are actually feminised, where they've got women teachers, which actually don't sort of cater for their way of coping, their kind of cognitive strategy, as it were.
Okay, I mean, I'll tell you, one of the things that is going to stick with me from this discussion is the notion from our earlier caller saying about the teachers being too young or actually not being able to hold their own with boys, which you can imagine, you know, a classroom full of 15-year-old boys and you're 21 or 22 fresh out of uni. I can see the problems. It is remarkable, though, that it does feel that after all the education reforms that we've not moved forward at all, if anything, gone backwards. There we go. William, thanks for the last call.